Okay, so I'm gonna write over here, it should show up everywhere, if I can get this there. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about significant figures. So this is gonna give you guys a crash course, and then what we'll do, we'll go through some of the problems together. What that means that when we say it together, you guys are gonna do all the hard work. I'm just gonna be up here with the group. Okay, so. Was that? It's not really lecture, you're in the lab. But the lab is a little ahead. Started, we're getting ready to start the packet. Okay, so talk about significant figures. We're talking about okay. So if we have non-zero numbers, all of those numbers are going to be considered significant. Because you're telling me that you know that that's the definition of one. When we're talking about sig figs and non-sig numbers, we're making reference to numbers that we can actually, we're sure about, we're confident about. Okay, so let's say we're talking about my weight. Okay, so if I have the scale at home, right? My scale is cheap. Right? I got it at the thrift store up the road. I know that if I weigh myself, the first time I weigh myself, it says 230. Okay, then I weigh myself again, and then it says 225. Then I weigh myself again, it says, I weigh myself again, it says 2. Okay, so I weigh myself 4 times. If we look at those numbers, what numbers would you say are you sure about? Which? So you're sure about the 200. Now, what about the second 2? If we got it 3 times, we're just off that 1. So you'd say we probably need to weigh ourselves a couple more times. You're pretty hardcore there. Interesting. So typically in science, if you see it 3 times, right, that usually says something that's valid, some validity, right? So more than likely, this 2 is valid as well. Right? This here on here is where we're getting our fluctuation. Right? So it could be anywhere from 0 to 9. So that would explain that possibility of it going over. Right? So in this case, we would say that these numbers are significant. These numbers, we're not sure. Okay, so those first 2 are going to be significant, where the last one is going to be uncertain. Now, if I was her, I'd have said just this first. Just this first number would be 100%. That one you just 100% sure. We're definitely sure, right? So then that means we say that there's 1 significant figure instead of those 2 that I was mentioning. Okay. So now the reason that we do this is because a lot of times we're taking cohorts, we take large pieces of data. Like we had done a study. I was working with HIV drugs. We're looking at drug resistance, and the first group that had done the study, we had taken samples from different places in Africa, different places in Europe, and so the person that did all of the recording didn't do anything dealing with significant. They didn't know how to do significant. And so when they first did the first initial the drug, they noticed that the drug was causing resistance to pop up. So you're getting people that were resistant to that particular drug at a high frequency. We're going to say probably about 12 to 13%, which is pretty high for this drug. It should have been done better. The problem was that when they done their work initially, depending on the area that you're at, the numbers that you were getting would vary in terms of this one or this one, right? And the person that did all of the calculations didn't take into consideration any significant figures. They just took the data as it was. If you took the data as it was, because some areas of data is so weak compared to other areas of data, right? It tends to screw things up massively. So we have to go back and recalculate all of the work that has been done. And the thing was that the company was being sued because people that were guaranteed, hey, this is a really good drug, you should take this, they were popping up with high levels of detail. So we had to go back and we kept all the calculations. So we went through, and the biggest thing was that the guy who did the work, he didn't know how to use it. He didn't know the concept of it. And so you have to compensate for that looking at some figures. So let me tell you that process, how you determine whether the numbers are significant. So like I told you here, all three of these are going to be significant. So if I have a number like this, these zeros here are not going to be considered significant because they're non-digit numbers. So these guys are going to be significant, but these zeros here following it are not going to be significant. Meaning that we're not sure about the exact zeros, right? Somebody just wrote down their being linked, right? They just wrote down that value and that was it. Okay. Now, if we have zeros in between, that zero is considered significant because you have a non-zero following. Makes sense, right? Now, when I say significant, it doesn't mean, because when we think about significant, we say importance, right? We think about it's important, right? My significant other, that person's important, right? It's a little bit different when we say this, right? What we're saying is that we're unsure, we have uncertainty in the case of these following zeros. We're not sure about it. Okay. Now, if I decide to do this, I put a decimal point there. Now, if I wasn't sure about those numbers, I wouldn't even bother with the decimal point, right? I would just write 101. Because naturally, I'm lazy. I'm not going to sit there and put 0.00 unless I have to do it, right? So anytime that you see a decimal, you have numbers in front, you see a decimal, and then you have zeros after it, you know that these are going to be important because you took that extra time. That's extra, right? Because how many of you guys would write all of this out? Most of you guys would just write this in. I do it today. I'll be writing a problem. I'll just write down the first two numbers that I see because that's what the big problem is. And even though it says decimal something, I have a bad habit of not putting decimal down because it's just a natural thing. Quick, I want to get it done, right? So you're not going to take that extra time unless it's important. So anytime you just a decimal followed by zeros, those zeros become important. Okay, and they're not just placeholders. Where these zeros are just placeholders, meaning that they're letting you know that we're talking about 111,000, right? And not just 111. Okay, so let me give you an example of examples. So if I have this, and how many sig figs do I have here? I have one sig fig. Okay. Now, what is the value of that? Is it going to be 1? Or is it going to be 10? It's going to be 10. Okay. Its value is still going to be the same. It just means that you have one significant fig. Okay. Now, how many sig figs here? 1. That's right. And what is the value of that? 1. So it's always going to be that value. It's still 1. Okay. What about this one? How many sig figs? 3. So because I took that extra time, I'm saying that the 0 is important, right? So you got to pay attention to it. You got to write it down. You got to keep track of it. Okay? Yeah.
So there's only one significant figure when I say there's a decimal. because it's a decimal, now it's 3. But
Gotcha.
there's no decimal, there's only 1.
Got it. And if there's no decimal, and yes, if there's no decimal, it's only 1. Okay, and it doesn't change the value, it's still 10. It's just saying that there's only one significant figure. Okay, so in other words, you only have that first number, that 1, is only needed to 100% sure. Okay, are you guys with me? Some of you guys are like, yeah, I got it. Some of you guys are like, what the hell are you talking about? Okay. So. Add layers. Now, if I have numbers in front, these zeros here, if these zeros are considered placeholders, they're letting us know that we have a very, very small number. Right? So, but they're not considered to be significant. So in this case, I would have only 2 significant figures. Okay, the value of it is still 0.0011, but you still only have 2 significant figures. Okay, now, because I have a decimal, these trailing zeros become significant. So I took that extra time to write them out. Right? I don't need to write them out unless they're important. Okay, so how many significant figures do I have here? That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This zero is in between 2 non-zero numbers. These guys are following it after we have this. Okay.
So it has to be, a whole number has to be there to be a sig figure. So it's that kind of like number. Like so it was like 0.0202, did it start with 2?
So if we had 0.02, right? That would be one significant figure, right?
Okay. And so once it was like exactly like the 101, and after that you go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So yeah, so in this case, you're saying if I had 0, 0,
Yeah.
right, then these become significant. Because we're
Okay.
taking extra time to write, right?
Okay.
Because normally we would just write 0.02, and that would be it, right?
Okay.
If you're taking more time to write something, actually those other zeros out, that means they're going to be important.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, this would have how many significant figures?
3.
Okay. Are you with me so far? Okay. Let's test this out. Let's go to your lab, first part of your lab. Is that part 1? And the goal is we're going to have a volunteer, but we can't have the same volunteer for all the questions. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
So that means if you don't volunteer, you get voluntold. Right? So you may end up with a really hard problem if you wait too long. Okay. So that's the difference between volunteering and voluntold. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to determine the number of significant figures. So it says determine the number of significant figures in the following numbers. Write the answers on the answer sheet. Okay, so first one, yeah, 13,100. You're gonna volunteer? Okay. Okay, do you guys all agree? Those who agree, raise your hand. And remember, you gotta vote. You don't vote, you get zeros automatically. Okay, those who disagree, raise your hand. Okay, so the correct answer is 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now remember, you gotta vote, or you automatically get a 0 on this lap. See how it works? This is a democracy. You vote, right? Okay, so these 3 numbers are significant, so the answer should be 3. Did you get that written down?
Yes.
Wait, I thought you said 0 back.
That's right. They don't. They're not significant, right?
Oh,
So
back,
1,
yeah.
2, 3. Right? So the answer would be 3 significant. Okay. Number 2. 0, 3, 1, 0, 0. Make sure we're down. Oops. All right. Did I got a 0? See this? Why don't I things down? Okay. I'm just gonna do the same thing twice. Okay, I wasn't drinking before this. I'm gonna be drinking afterwards. Okay. So, how many sig figs? 4. Okay. Ones. This one.
3, 0, 1.
Okay. So we have 4 sig figs. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Anybody disagree with that? So these are just placeholders. They're just letting us know that these are the ones that are submitted. Okay. How are you guys doing over there? Good. Good. Okay. Okay. Next number. Let's see if I can get this right. Ready? You said 3? You gotta say it. Come on now. Don't be scared. There's no reason to be scared. Either we're wrong or right. It's okay. Say 3. How many of you guys agree with it? Remember, everybody votes. Gotta raise your hand if you agree.
Oh,
Agree?
sorry, my fault.
He said 3 significant figures. 3. Okay. How many of you guys disagree? You gotta vote. Remember, you gotta vote. Okay. You agree? Okay, the correct answer is 3 significant figures. Here. Good job. You guys are on fire. El Fuego, you're making this easy. Okay, so number 4. We have 0, 0.00.
5.
We have 5 significant figures. Do you guys agree or do you disagree? You agree? Raise your hand.
Three?
Agree. You agree. She said 5. 5 significant figures. I like peer pressure. It's great, right? The correct answer is 5. Yes. So, if you guys take a look, we took the time to put that decimal there, so we know that these are going to be significant. Okay, number 5. We have 2, 0, 0 decimal. Said you got it. Wait. You neither of you can answer because you guys already answered one.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You said 1?
Yeah,
Don't put money up?
sure.
Okay.
I'm gambling man.
I'm a gambling man too.
3.
You said 3. Okay, so we have 1 and 3. Let's put bets. Everybody want to bet? We're gonna make some money.
I got you.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, sorry, 3 and 1. 3 and 1. Okay, so 3 and 1. I'm working. It's hard. Okay, so we got 3 and 1. So those who okay, who's gonna put money in the pocket?
I got a quarter.
What was that?
I got a quarter.
Hey, a quarter's better than nothing, right? I think I got a quarter in here. This is my money pot, you know. This is where I typically, I have a dollar. That's right. You're broke? Shit, he's making a bet. He only got his own quarter. Okay, so how many of you guys, raise your hand if you guys believe it to be 3? Okay, 3. Okay, how many of you guys believe it to be 1? The correct answer is 3. Good job. Because of the decimal. We took the time to put the decimal there. We're saying that it is exactly 200. Okay?
You don't have to put like, but then I think.
So we have 0.0500. Any volunteers?
3.
3? Okay. How many of you guys agree with 3? Raise your hand. Anybody disagree with 3? The correct answer is 3. Okay. Struggling today. It's a Monday. Okay, if I have 4.030.
Anything after, does it matter?
4.
You said 4?
Wow.
How many of you guys agree with 4? Anybody disagree with 4?
That doesn't matter.
Okay, correct answer is 4. Right? You took the time to do 0, so these are gonna actually count. This is in between, so it's always gonna count. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so my next number. 9, 9, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Oh, I can't, can I go again?
You can't go again. Nope. That's for somebody else. Who's gonna go? Excellent, you volunteered. That's nice. Tell us.
No, but
2.
I don't understand that.
We have 2. Who agree with 2? Anybody disagree with 2? Good job. 2 is the correct answer. See how it works? Okay. Okay. 14.0. You can't go. You already went. Excellent. 3. Everybody agree with 3? Anybody?
Oh,
Raise your hand if you agree.
I agree.
How many?
3.
I'm scared.
Okay. Everybody agree with 3? 3 is correct.
Oh, I heard so long.
Sorry.
Okay, number 10. Okay. Volunteers, excellent. 1. Everybody agree with 1? Anybody disagree with 1? 1 is correct.
Nobody
Okay.
voted, that's all my girl numbers.
Okay, good job. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more. So when we have units that are going to be associated with it, let's say we have, let's say 1 cup. 1 cup is kind of an infinite, right? So in other words, we have that 1, and technically there's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, because it's a perfect measurement, 1 cup. So it would be infinite in that case. Okay, because we took the time to put the unit there, in this case, okay. Now, if we have the case, we'll talk about 1/2 because 1/2 is going to be a special case. And I'll have to explain to you in a second. 1 second. Okay. If we talk about exponents, 3.1 times 10 to the 4th power. Okay, so if we say 3.1 times 10 to the 4th power, this part here isn't going to count towards our significant numbers. It's going to be this part, right? Because we already know that all this does is add zeros or makes it really small, put zeros in the front, right? So in that case, we already know that those aren't going to be significant. It's already understood that. Otherwise, we wouldn't write it. Okay. So in this case, how many steak cakes would I have?
2.
2. Okay. You guys see that? Said no. Let me explain it. That's all right. So we know that when we have this number written like this, what it really means is 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're not going to put a decimal. We're just going to write it like that. So that's what this number means. Doesn't it? So then how many significant figures would we have here? 2, right? So since we have it written in this form like this, 3.1, then it would be 2. Otherwise, we write it like, we wanted it to be 5 figures, we write 3.1000 times,
Sure.
right? How many sig figs do I have now?
5,
Two, like circle.
Here,
Five.
5.
it's 5, right? Because I took decimal, and then I have all these things out, right? So it'll be a total of 5. Okay, it's quite different than this one. Okay. Okay, so are you feeling confident in determining the number of sig figs from a single number? Everybody's feeling pretty good about that? Let's see if we can make it a little more challenging. Right? Okay, so the next part is addition and subtraction. Okay. Okay, so when we do addition, what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up the number, right? So we know that that's what it's gonna be, right? So you're gonna look and determine the last number of significance for each of these numbers, right? So in the first one, how many significant figures do we have?
3, no, 4.
They have 4. Oh yeah, right? Because that decimal, right? And then we have the 0 afterwards. So the last number of significance would be the 0 afterwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line. Okay. So the next number, what is the last number of significance? Well, first off, how many significant figures do we have? On the second line, we have 5. So the last number of significance would be 0. Okay. And then the last number, how many significant figures do we have there?
1.
So the last number of significance would be 2. Oh. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to actually do the addition. Since it's all addition, we just have to go ahead and add it up. So we added up, this is 0, 0, 7, 9, 1. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to go to the number that shows the least significance, which is our green line here, the light green line. Right. This number here shows the least significance, 20. Add the least the number of significance. We're going to take the number here and look at that number. If that number is greater than 5, we're going to round up this number. Okay. If the number is exactly 5, meaning that it's 5 here and there's 0, 0, 0, 0, right? We're going to leave it alone. If it's lower than 5, we're going to leave that number alone. Okay. So this is number greater than 5.
Yes.
Okay, so then our answer is going to be 140.
How come you add the 0.70?
Because this is not significant. You're taking the one that has the least amount of significance. 20. We don't know anything about that 0. It could be really 25. It could be 23. It could be 22. We don't know. Right? We're unsure about it because nobody put a decimal there to say, hey, I'm sure about this. Right? So it's uncertain.
Well, we
So
get
you're
an
taking the
example.
one that has the least uncertainty That's the one that's gonna sit there and dictate what goes on. Okay, does that make sense?
Put the 140, you keep the zeros?
What was that?
You keep the
No,
zeros?
you have it so that your uncertainty is still here. If you notice, uncertainty is there, your uncertainty is still there.
You
And that's
said,
because that number we're unsure about, right? Yes,
you said when it's greater than 5, we round it,
yes, when it's
right?
greater than
And when
5,
it's exact 5 or less,
then you leave, yeah, so then in that case, if this was 5, let's say it was 135.000. In that case, right, we would take a look at this number here, it's exactly 5. So then our answer would be 1/3. Okay, so we're gonna leave this alone. Okay,
So
because it's exactly 5. So the way I like to look at it is, have you guys ever used a teeter-totter or a seesaw? Know what a teeter-totter is? That little toy where somebody sits on the other side, you sit there and, Okay.
sube y baja,
say it again.
sube y baja,
Sube, baja,
sube,
sube,
baja.
sube, baja. Exactly, see, sube, baja. Okay, sube, baja. So if you're both exactly the weight, do you go anywhere? You don't go anywhere, right? So that's the reason why you don't change. If one of you guys is greater, goes up on that side.
Wait, how did it go from 135 and drop it down?
Because we're not sure, because this guy is so uncertain, we're not sure about this number, right? Because we're unsure at this point, if this was exactly 5, we can't make the assumption that it's gonna be greater than that. We're unsure about it, right? So it really could be, I mean, because we do all the addition, well, you can't pay attention to this, we're saying that let's say the answer is this, right? Then, in that case, we're so unsure about it, we can't say that it's really closer to 140, right? So we have to sit there and make the assumption that it's closer to 1/3, right? Because of that uncertainty. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if the 20 had a decimal, would we have to round it all, or would it just be that answer we got?
No, if the 20 had a decimal, it's gonna be the same answer, but we take a look here, right? And so we use this to determine our significant, I mean, whether we're rounding up or leaving alone. In that case, we'd have to put the decimal in that case, right? Because then we're saying we're sure about that. You know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we still round, but we would just add decimal to
Yes.
show that we're certain about it.
That's right, because in this case, it's 139, and then here, this is the one that we look at, it's greater than 5. So then we round up. Good question. That's all I have. Okay, you want to try another one?
please.
Because this is just kind of like, you know. And the thing is that this rule applies for subtraction as well, addition and subtraction. Okay. Okay. So, how many significants do I have in the first number? So, significant and square. So we're gonna draw a line. Okay, the second number. How many significant figures do I have there? Six. Okay, so significant ends after
Zero.
the last zero. Okay, the third number. 3. So significant ends after
Zero. Wait, no, the one.
after the 1. And the fourth number. 1. Significant ends after 4. I just remember the color line.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do A, B, C.
Got it.
Okay. So next step is to do add. Okay, now go ahead and add. So am I going to use, what number am I going to use to round? So we're going to use the 2 right behind that 2. Okay. Behind the ring, but okay. So we're going to use that 2. So is that 2 greater than 5? No. So my answer should be is it going to be 62? So you told me I'm using this to round. So I'm going to use that.
It's 6-0.
So you guys, so you're telling me it's going to be 60? That's what you're saying? Okay, there. So my answer is going to be 60,000, right?
It's because it rounds to 0.
Gotcha. You round it down.
Okay.
So if it's greater than 5, then you round it up. Then it's 7. 7. Yes.
So how do you know if that's start rounding up here?
Okay, because we want to go to the one that is the least significant, right? So we move up, right? We know that our significance ends here on that green line or that A line. It's the A line, it's not your fault. It's like, okay. So that A line, I just gotta get used to it. So that A line there, right? So that means that we draw that line there, number following it is gonna be the one that. Because this number has the significance of all the rest.
But you see how you said that's significant. That two next to it, the same thing. So they both at least.
Yeah, well, no, because if you look at the number here, right? So it's 48,000. Right? So the only number that's significant is that very first number. That one number is significant. This one has 2 numbers, right? So we're not going to use the second one. We're not going to use B because we're not going to use it after the B to sit there and round up. Okay. We're going to use this one, right? Because this number was the least significant. It's a little tricky. Let's try one more. It'll get a little more clarity. Let me see if I can get one that's a little bit better. So let's say we have okay. So if you guys all see the numbers. So first step, we've got to do what? Okay, so let's start with 72. So where am I going to draw the line? Behind the 2. Okay. Second number. Okay, you said high more. Third number. After the last zero. Third
Oh,
number. You've been ahead of the game. Okay, so exactly the same spot. And then the fourth number. After the fourth. Okay. So next step will be to what?
And
Oh,
Yeah,
add
add
it.
first.
Yeah.
We're gonna add it first. Okay, let's add it. Okay. So in this case, which number am I going to use to determine if I round up or leave it? Seven behind, I should say. E. So you're going to go to that line that's in front, right? I was going to use that line in front, and then you go to the number afterwards. That number there, that 7, is it greater than 5?
yes,
Okay, so then my answer should be
58 or 58.
5800.
Thank you.
Is that a little clear?
So you always round to the, how do I say it, second number?
Yeah, so you always use the number, no, not always the second number, but always the number that's after the closest one.
That's ridiculous.
Yes,
So even if two numbers have the same amount of significant figures, you still use like the first line?
you always use that first line. Yes, the line that's the closest. So if you always go for the left, the one that's closest, yes, always gonna use that. Okay. Okay, questions, concerns? Okay, so let's do some subtraction. I gave you that look. We'll only do 2 lines of subtraction. Try to do 5 things of subtraction. Exactly the same concept. So addition and subtraction are going to be exactly the same concept. Okay. So let's say we have this. Okay. So where am I drawing the line in the first one? How many sig figs? 2 sig figs. So where do I draw the line? Behind the line. After the line. Okay, second number. 4. Okay, we have an A, B, making it real easy now, right? Just 2. Okay, so we do the math.
Okay.
7,
Wait, 7. It's not 9.
9.
Okay.
Okay, so. What am I going to use to round? Which one?
The one after 7.
A.
Okay. So this one. Okay, so then my answer is $28,800. Okay, good. Yes. So we want to make sure. It's kind of like you're expecting to get $100,000 this year, and I give you $1, right? Is that the same? No. You'd be a little pissed off at me, right? Okay. Feeling confident? Not too bad?
Yes.
Very good class. Make it easy. Okay, so now multiplication is even simple. Okay. So with multiplication and division, you always are going to go with the number that has the least number of significant figures. Okay, so let's say we have okay. So how many sig figs does the first number have? Five significant figures. This one has how many? And then this one has how many? Okay, so my answer should have how many significant figures. Okay, so do that. So where am I putting the decimal? Where am I putting the decimal? What's that? I'm not. It should just be 800. Okay, one significant figure. I know it's, you guys are disappointed because you're expecting something crazy. You're like, that's it? Okay, so let's do another problem. So let's do okay. So how many sig figs in the first number? One sig fig here. How many here? And how many? Okay, so my answer should have how many sig figs? One. Okay, so let's do the math. You guys remember doing the math for me? You can pull out your calculators if you need to pull out your calculators.
Yes.
72,000. So if we have one significant figures, my answer should be this. Decide whether you're rounding or rounding. Drop that down to 0. Okay, you guys see how it works? Simple? Not simple? Okay. So let's see if you said you got confused. So we have one significant figure here, right? On the very first one, right? And one same figure, right? This one had 3. This one had 4. Okay, since this guy had 1, that's going to dictate how many significant figures we have. So we go ahead and do the math, right? So we multiply. Bam, bam, bam. Okay? We end up with 72,000. Okay? Now, since we only have one sig fig, that means only one number can be significant. We always know that that big the number up front is going to be the one that's significant, right? So now we have to take a look. Is this Greater than 5? Is that 2 greater than 5? No, 2 isn't greater than 5, so we leave, drop it down. In other words, drop this to 0, we leave that front number alone. Right, because that would give you one number of significance. Okay, you guys want something a little more challenging? One more? Or one more? We're gonna do one more multiplication? Okay, why don't we mix in division?
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna do multiplication and division. Same concept, right? Exact same concept. But now we're gonna do multiplication and division. Let's do
So it
this.
would be.
If I have-
That same thing as this, so it's like lactose. Okay.
1/2. So if I have 1/2, how many sig figs should I end up with?
3? No. 3, right?
I want to.
1, 2.
Are you sure? It's 1 because a fraction is just division, right? That line just means division, okay? So that means we have a 1 divided by 2.0, right? So then if I have one number that has 1 sig fig and the other one has 2 sig figs, what should be my answer? Lower number, so I should have something with, okay, so then my answer would be okay, how many sig figs is this? 1 sig fig. Okay, so let's say if I had 1.00 divided by 2.00.
It still be 0.1.
Okay,
0.500.
0.500. So why do I need that zeros?
Because of the first fraction.
That's right, because the number is both 3 sig figs. So my number has to be, my answer has to be 3 sig figs. Decimal, so then these guys become 6. Okay. You see the distinction between the two? Yeah, the other one had, bottom one had a lot more, right? Okay. Okay, so let's go to real problems. Right. Way go. Okay, so any volunteers? We're erasing the board now. Okay. Okay, so anybody can volunteer for the first problem, number 11.
Oh.
You whip out your calculator. You whip out your calculator. Okay, so our answer is 72.6.
Yes.
I'm looking here. I'm not saying anything's wrong yet. But I'm going to say something is wrong, right? Because if you think about it, multiplication, right? So we have 30 that's being multiplied by 4.
So we're gonna, oh, I get it. You need to do the answer for it?
Yeah, so let's write down the problem.
2.6.
So we have 34.2 times 3.00. That's going to equal,
102.6.
okay, 102.6. So the answer is going to be, if we don't do sig figs, 102.6. Okay. Okay, so how many sig figs should we have? You're saying we should have 3 sig figs. So that means that we take this number and we're going to round it up or down. Up. So then my answer should be 1. Okay, that's Okay, everybody got that? Questions, concerns? Cash? Okay, so let's do the next one. Okay, so we have 87.0 times 32.3.
This is gonna be 2,000. You want the whole round version too, or just the
Yeah,
answer?
just give me the
The answer?
correct answer first. And then we'll figure out.
That's gonna be 2,801.4.
2,000. 2,801.
Yeah. One,
We're gonna use
one
this
four.
round.
One four. There you go.
You guys agree with them?
Am I wrong?
I got 2,810.1.
I'm probably wrong.
Now we have.
Okay. Yeah, 2,000. And make it fun. 2010.1.
Yes,
We're
so
still-
we need, two significant
like,
figures.
yeah.
So we rounded to 29.
I got the same thing.
29?
100.
Okay. But are you sure? Yes. You got a question? Go on. All right, comment.
There's three sig figs in each of these, so I think it's 2,810.
Okay, so we have 2,810, and you said it was 2,800 and 900. Okay. So these are your options.
And she's right, it's three significant figures on one of those numbers that we're.
That's right. So we have three significant figures, so the correct answer should be,
Rounded up.
okay? Very good. Yeah. Okay, so the next one. Hey guys out here, you trying to slip by? Okay, try to say. It's really pulled up. All right. Yes. Okay, so we have it added on tutor/lab tech. So gotta introduce yourself, don't just wave. Tell me who you are.
Hi guys, my name is Jeffrey and I'm going to be helping out for your class. I don't have hours officially set up yet, but I'm hoping for Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 to around 1-ish. Because my class, I have class with them, and it starts at 1 on Mondays and Wednesdays. But I live in Lamar, so kind of be here only Mondays and Wednesdays. But I'll let you guys know as soon as my hours start getting set up. And just I'm here if you guys need anything. Don't hesitate to reach out and I'll try to get access to Canvas page. So you can enter my email or anything. Any questions?
See, you guys have, everybody wants to help you guys, you know? Dr. Avery, can you help these guys? We want to make sure they get A's.
So the small sig fig is what we have to round it to.
Yeah, they said that's-
So small.
Yeah.
All right, next one. 42.82 plus 5.1. I said 82. Okay, yes, I'm sure that. Rough day. I can't write. Okay, there we go. 5.1, right?
47.96. And then the router version would be 48.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Don't put money on it?
Why not?
Why not? Well, you should, huh? Okay, so you're saying it's 48. Let's see what he's saying the answer. Very confident. Is it 48? Everybody agrees. Put money on it.
Yes.
Broke? That's all right. But y'all get paid in a few days, right? So I'll take IOUs.
Do you take cash out?
I do take cash out. Yes, I do. Yes.
I get paid in 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Excellent. Perfect. So she can pay me 45 minutes. Okay. So how much you guys want to pay? $1. I have enough to cover everybody.
Wait, if we have 5.1, that means those are
That's
two
good, yeah.
significant.
Okay. You get tips tomorrow?
Yeah, I got you. I put $1.
Yeah, we'll do $1.
$1?
I got you, yeah.
This is gonna be a big class. I'm gonna make a lot of money off of
How
this.
much you made off of our class?
Oh, yeah, I do remember. It was in there for a while. We used to buy pizza. That's how much. I bought a big menu with that.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
You were kidding.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Where am I drawing my lines?
Wait, so they're real bad or not?
It's real bad, yeah.
Behind the one, on 5.8,
Okay, so we're going behind the one
and then behind 6 as well.
and behind the 6. So this is A, this is B. Those are my headlines.
6 behind the A,
Okay,
and then you would round the 9 up to 10, and it carries.
okay, so you're saying that I have 48.0.
Oh,
Is that the same?
oh, yes.
No. I'm expecting $1 from a couple of people. Okay, so you guys, yeah, I'll take cash out, you know. So you can put it in my tub here, you know. So on
Wait,
Wednesday.
it is still in there?
That's your money. No, we spent it all. We spent it all. You know, yeah. I use it to buy pizza, so.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. I saw $1, but I was like, it's still in there.
Yeah, I think the most I had in there one month was 60. I had 60. So,
Is it for our class? One time it was me and like Anthony goes, so he was asking the same question. He was like, you know, I was like, it was laughing.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah.
okay, the next one. Hey, you want to bet on it beforehand, huh?
I'm giving away.
So, nothing.
No, no, no.
I'm a dollar less off right now.
Okay, so we have, make sure I write it down there.
So we rounded it. We sort of said wrong. Yeah, you have to like. change some- Yeah.
So where am I gonna draw my lines? That? Okay, where am I gonna use round?
The 7.
7?
So it's gonna be 158.6.
That call redemption?
Yeah, yes.
Oh.
I should have bet on it.
Okay, so let's look at our next values. The next. So when we have combinations, do you guys remember PIMDAS? I mean, PIMDAS.
Yes, I have that one.
Clear PIMDAS. Yes. Okay, so when we talk about PIMDAS, then what comes first? Parentheses. Then exponents, then multiplication. Okay. Division.
So what'd you get first?
Subtraction. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna be doing our multiplication first. And then once we get that value, we have to sit here and get the significant figures from that part. Then we can do the next part. Okay,
What's the answer?
so
C. C. Oh, wait, which one? Oh. It's for, yeah. We're now. Oh, that was.
Oh, my.
Okay. So how am I gonna do this? Okay, so we're gonna do our multiplication first, right? So we multiply, what are we gonna get? 56.6? 66.6. Okay, how many sig figs should I have? 3 sig figs, okay, works out, 3 sig figs. So then I'm adding. Okay, where am I gonna draw my line?
Right, it's the 5.
Yeah, so it's less than 5.
So we use this,
Right, so would it be 98.6?
No, we're in 40 minutes, guys.
No.
it's just 98.6.
Oh.
Five.
So yeah, 5 is dropped off. Remember, because it's 5 exactly, right? So then you're not gonna round it up, you're gonna leave it alone. So you're gonna leave this part alone, the 5 will become 6.
Okay.
It's that teeter totter, right? Right there. Okay, is this helpful? Okay, so now we get some word problems. Don't love word problems. Okay, volume.
Yes.
The volume of a walnut can be calculated by multiplying its dimensions. 1.51 centimeters, 13.0 centimeters, and 20.11 centimeters. So what is going to be the number of significant figures that we should get for our answer? We should get 3. Everybody is going to give you the numbers.
I got 395.
And 395.
For the second one.
Oh.
What does it mean?
397.
3947. 0.7593.
Okay. So you said there's 3 state figs. Then we're using
7 around.
and our units, just centimeters. CC. Okay. Okay, everybody got that?
So you round to 7 because that's the significant figure.
Oh, no.
We want 3 significant figures. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1 afterwards, is the one that ends.
Got
Round.
it, okay.
Or the-
Okay. Okay, you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, it says, the mass of the walnut in problem 16 could be calculated from its volume by using the average density of a walnut, which is 0.65 grams, 64 grams per cubic centimeters. Calculate the mass of the walnut with the given dimensions. Okay, so one thing, let me tell you this, density is going to equal mass over volume. Okay, so they gave us what? They give us
Density and
okay, so they gave us the density. Symbol for density in chemistry, throat. This symbol here is called the throat. RHO. It's a Greek letter. Okay. So often you'll see density, but there's something simple. I'm saying M over V. That's what it was.
Did they give us the master? Master.
They gave us the density, right? And our goal was to calculate,
That's a volume.
and we calculated the volume, so we know the volume.
So we volume.
So this is our volume. Okay, and they're giving us our density, right? Okay, so we know that density is equal, rho is equal to 0.64, and the units were grams per cubic centimeter. So we have to make sure our units match up. Okay, so if we plug this in, we have 0.64 grams per cubic centimeter. We're looking to solve for mass, right? So we're going to multiply it by the volume, which we're given here. So we plug that in. That's going to give us our mass. You guys remember? Back from algebra. To get rid of volume on this side, we multiply this side by volume. And so we get one side down together, so then volume cancels out, and then we're left with just the mass. Right? And so we get volume times density. Okay. So we know that the mass is going to equal 395 cubic centimeters times 0.64 grams. Okay, so these units are going to cancel out. So that's like having grams over 1 cubic centimeter. And then how many sig figs should I end up with? Since our density is two significant figures, we want to end up with sig figs. Okay. I want to do that. Any that's for me.
I got 5.8 and then down to 50 grams.
If we do 2 sig figs instead of 5, 0. Okay, so the next one, it says, object is measured on a centigram balance to have a mass of 21.00 grams. How accurate is the measurement? So in other words, they want to know, where are we going to have our uncertainty? So is it going to be in one spot, the 10th spot, the 100th spot, or the 1,000th? Sure. Think about what we're looking at. So if we have a centigram scale, that means that it's going out to which spot? The centi, right? So where's it going to fluctuate at? So in other words, you're going to have 0.00. Where is it going to fluctuate at? Is it going to fluctuate at that first zero, or is it going to fluctuate at that last zero? The last zero. So is that the 100th spot, right? Yes. Okay. So then your accuracy is going to be just as good to the. It's going to be the most accurate, the 10 or the 100. 10 is going to be the 100. So let's look at it. Our scale, it is a centi scale. So that means 0, 0, and then here is where we're going to have our fluctuation, right? So if we're fluctuating here, where is the accuracy going to occur? It's going to occur at this level. Does that make sense? Okay. You said yeah, no, yeah. Okay. Because the scale is a centigram gram, meaning that it only goes out to. And when you step on the scale, usually that last number is the one that's always flipped around, right? Okay. So when that last number is the one that's flipped around, it's not going to be accurate.
So when always when the centigram goes to the tenth.
That's right. The 10th, you're going to round up to the 10th. You're going to use the 10th as your round. Well, so you're going to use this to round up to the 10th. Right?
Okay.
So if you got values like 10, 10, 7, it's going to probably be a 7. So it goes out that way. Quick. Okay. Okay. So it says calculate the area of surface in units of centimeters squared with a length of 7.8 centimeters and a width of 14.1 millimeters. What is the first thing that I want to do? We need the same units. Okay, so we either need to make them both centimeters or we need to make them both millimeters. But it tells us specifically what they want. What do they want? They want centimeters. Okay. So we have 14.1 millimeters. Okay. So if I'm going to change my millimeters to centimeters, what is the conversion factor from millimeters to centimeters? Anybody remember? So for every 10 millimeters, that's going to equal 1 centimeter. Okay. So what was that rule? Think about how Dr. Henry dates. You guys remember that? I talked about how I date. Getting rid of the old.
Yeah.
I did. I did. In this class, I did. You remember it?
Yeah.
I did. Okay. Making sure because I do a lot of talking. I can't remember. So how do I date? So I have the girl. She's getting boring. What do I do to her?
Throw it away.
Throw her away. So she goes on top or on bottom? On the bottom. So we have millimeters, right? So then what am I going to use down here at the bottom? So I'm going to have my 10 millimeters at the bottom, right? Okay. So centi is my new girl, right? So she's going to be on top. So millimeters cancel out. And we end up with 1.41. Now, this is a conversion. When you're doing conversions, right, you're never going to use those to determine your significant figures. Okay? So again, conversions are not used to determine your significant figures. So your starting number will have the same significant figures at the end. Okay? Okay, so that's the first thing. We have the same units. Now we have both of them in centimeters. So our length is 7.80 centimeters times 1.41. Make sure I wrote it down right because I'm struggling tonight. Need to figure out my sleeping schedule. So wake up at 3 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta get up and get this done. And then I'm here at 7 o'clock at night. So it starts. I'm ready to go to bed. Although this coffee is helping, I really appreciate it. Otherwise, I have a story. Okay, how many sig figs am I going to end up with? 3? Yes, so it's 3. Okay, so I'm do the heavy lift. Rounds up to 11. 11 exactly, or 11 point something. 11.0. Preguntas? Cash money? Cash at me? Hashtag. Help Dr. King go to the Bahamas. Send $1 million. Okay? Exactly. That's what we should do. Send Dr. Henry and class
So go see that.
to the Bahamas. Our goal is we'll put 20 million now. It's not for all of us, right? So. Okay. Okay, number 20. After we do this, we're gonna take a little break. Break. Stretch, PP, you know, which we need to do real quick, and then come back and we'll go to the fun part.
Wait, you still have that extra for today?
With the volume, yeah, remember how to drop it in.
Yeah.
All like that, yeah.
Wait, we're making that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not that. That's
yeah.
okay, the length of the table measures 9 and 8/16 inches. The ruler is accurate to the 100th place. Write the length with the correct number of significant figures in decimal notation. Okay. 100. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Everybody loves fractions, right? No? Yeah. So if it's 8/16, right? 8/16. So how many times does 8 go into 16? How many? 2 times, right? 2 times. So literally all it is, so we have 8/16. So it's 9 and 8/16. Right? So in other words, this is just 1/2. That's 9, right? This guy has how many sig figs? Oh. This has 1. This has 2. This has 1. So my answer should have. Okay, so the fraction part, my answer should have 1, right? Okay, so then if I have an answer of 9.5, right? Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought you said 9.5 was the significance. I was gonna say that's 2.
Yeah, it is 2, right? Currently it is 2, right? So literally right now we have 2 sig figs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. So if we were going for that 1, because if we were doing it correctly, this guy should have a total of how many sig figs? Well, it says, the problem, that's the difference, right? Problem says to the 100th place, right? 100th. Right? So the problem is telling you something different. If we were going by significant figures only, right? You say we should have 1, right? The correct answer should have 1. So then we take a look at this and the answer should have been 9. But if you read the rest of the problem, it says we want it to the 100th, right? So they're telling you, okay, even though you have sig figs, we really want it to the 100th place. So my answer should be 9.50. So that's the thing about word problems, right? Word problems can change what you're actually looking at. And so this added a little extra. That was the whole purpose of it. So you guys recognize that. You gotta make sure to read everything on Word. Okay? Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also gets the part that we hate grade. I know I hate grade. You hate grade, yeah, that's the worst part of grade. We all got it done. You should all get it right. So we'll just have to worry about the people that can show. Right? So I have a few that can show. So.
Can we go back to the 18?
Number 18 is your okay? Okay, so 18 says you have a scale, sorry, scale one.
Yeah.
We just talked about, yeah, balance, yeah. In a balance, and it's 21.00 grams, right? Okay, so we know, we just balance this, you'll learn this real quick. Where are we gonna have our fluctuation, right? The scale only goes out to this 0. It's gonna be that last one, right? So it's gonna fluctuate. So this is the 10. This here is the 100. So where is accuracy gonna be at? It's gonna be at the 10. This one is not gonna be accurate, right? It's always gonna be fluctuating. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. All good questions? Be scared? Strawberry, chocolate frosting. Hey, by the way, my birthday is February 14th. So,
Oh my God, I still have the video.
Is it really?
yeah, it really is. I'm a love child. Can't you tell? Don't you guys love me already? Okay, so let's, yes.
Okay, so the answer is 21.00.
For 18.
So the answer would be 21.0. Right? Because you know that this guy is not accurate, so this one's gonna be, that's the one that we're gonna drop.
Okay.
You're not sure about. Right?
Okay.
So,
So I was thinking differently. I thought we were just dropping 0 to 21. So we're going from the 100. So he's dropping.
so it'd be,
one from the
so it'd be 21.0 would be the answer that we would use.
Okay.
We know that this one is not accurate, right?
Right,
That's gonna be the one that we're questioning all the time.
right, okay.
Okay. Okay, party break. Let you go. I'm saying, food break. Is Pam still okay? Right, so,
It'll be 6 and then. So, my mom, one day.
Okay, when you guys come back, you're gonna need to get your graduated cylinder. Your cylinder that's graduated, you're gonna need to get, beakers, there are 50 ml beakers. And you're going to need to get 100 ml beaker, right?
Really? You do?
My right side.
Yeah, slide it out of the way. Yeah, I love the way they design this building, you know. Yes, you want the chicken fries.
Yeah, okay, that's it? Be sure?
Yeah.
Rating 15 on break again.
Right, you please. Yeah, so open all over again. Oh, this is just, this is everything. Yeah. Okay, give me. If you can, if you can go to the 1A. So they're talking about. Does have a accessory accusation.
On to Saturday.
The one tomorrow, the one Wednesday. But never have these two. Yes. So you need 150.
Clear one.
Modesto, small one as well.
You guys record?
Huh?
You guys record your games?
So you need a small.
Oh, so the-
Yes.
I wanna like watch
You
it.
need that one, or just that one, add it back.
Who's gonna help? I know I'm 5 minutes.
I know, that's not hard.
No.
Right, that, right, or clockwise, counterclockwise.
Make sure to skip.
Yeah.
Second numbers. Yeah.
Seven, nine, nine.
Yes.
7, 9.
Yeah. Now, funny.
August, I was like seventh grade.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
I was there, they are.
That was the little one. That was the only one we had.
I think so.
Just kidding.
Oh,
Doesn't matter how. I'm not. Oh my gosh, my glass.
So.
Yeah. 68.
Excellent. Last question.
Oh, no, I was asking a lot. Oh. Actually,
Really great.
I would try. I used to do it like just the whole slide. I know how much is out there. I know how much.
I tried to work. I wrote down the and no, I was just like, I need to.
I would say the one thing about like nutrition is
Okay, everybody's back. Okay, so we're pressing for time. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit more time on the methods part of it. We're gonna do the lab today. We're gonna try and get as much of the lab done today as we possibly can. With that, an hour. So everybody's ready. We're gonna play with some water.
Wednesday. Those are the only two we have.
And fast.
Guys, where is the start of this semester? I'm already so tired.
Not even.
Oh,
Or tomorrow.
what?
I just thought I was going to, and then the spider was in my head, and I said I need to.
Sure.
You know this one?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, you can sing.
Right. That's what I was. I think
Oh my God.
I did it because I had to.
Oh, I did it just before. For me, I was like,
Did you get a comment?
I
Oh.
was like,
It's like, I want to be.
I
Okay,
got
was like,
the
oh,
13.
I think it's the one that you tried out.
No, I just.
I just thought that was
Like, just take your blood sugar, just like, substances, and you're like, so like, my stuff off, and I was gonna eat. I would eat like the ingredients. The only thing is I have energy, but. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it should be.
Okay, give me a second. I'll get you guys.
Because you don't really need to
Scale.
Studies that.
Okay, so we have two types of scale. What you guys have in front of you is called a centigram scale. Often we'll think about these as dope dealer scales, you know, because they're portable. So, but they give us that centi value. The ones that we have over here, these guys are called analytical scales, right? They often will go down to much more accurate values, although our scales are pretty old. So they're not going to be as accurate as they once were, okay? So you're going to be using a combination of both. So first off, under the very first one, you're going to use a decigram scale. You get the decigram scale. And then you guys are going to use the analytical scale. I gave you guys the centigram scale. Right? So the decigram scale only goes to the ones, the 10th spot, right? So the 10 deci, 10, right? So it's going to go to the 10th spot instead of the 100th spot or beyond, okay? So let me grab you the right scale. Since I got the wrong one. Yeah, I just got the wrong one. I always forget the ones in the front. Ladies in the front. Just tax value. Say,
Yeah.
where you at, girl?
She said she got over.
She just wasn't coming.
Yeah.
Tell her she better just get her butt here. Tell her that's when she's here at the second time. Okay. Okay, so if you read the question, read the part of it. Now, what you guys are going to be doing, you guys are going to be weighing a 50-gram object. Is that correct? 50-gram object. Okay, so your 50-gram object. One second. This is what happens when you share stuff with other classes. Right? They don't put things back.
It's like 7:25. Do I look like I have
Yeah.
Okay. So I have two 50-gram objects. You guys are gonna have to share. There's 5 groups, so we're gonna have to work them around the room. So we're waiting for stuff to come in. They ordered our stuff a little late. We're supposed to order 3 weeks before school started, and just got ordered last week. So.
Sure.
So when you when you're using your scale, the first thing that you want to do is zero it out. Make sure that there's nothing on it, and make sure you have the cover off of it. You can also use the cover. And actually, that's good. Okay, so you got to open that. Oh. That's
Yeah, I was like, that's cute. I thought you did. I let it be.
So you guys make me proud. I know none of you guys are drug dealers because you didn't realize it had a cover on it. So that's good.
Oh, I really had a cover.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let me change my tone there.
Oh, we got one.
You guys
Appreciate it.
Oh, I thought you were about to scroll it.
No, it's like, it's kind of heavy,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is.
If that makes you feel really bad, and I probably feel bad, and then, you know, we kind of upset.
This one is the one that doesn't have.
Yeah, we're trying to use it bigger.
And that one doesn't.
This one was not.
Yeah. Was that out?
Scales? No. Oh, yeah.
I'm included, but I'm not there.
Go an hour before.
Okay, so you guys have the first part done, part two? Right. Everybody got the analytical, the 50? For the DESI, yeah. Okay, so you also gotta go to the analytical balance. So go to your nearest analytical balance. We have one here, we have one back there, and we have one in that corner. So for the first group, you go over there. And you guys have the DESI scale? They're both over there. Okay. Yeah, so we go over here. And you guys, so best come up there and look at it too. Group effort. How's it going over here? You guys got your analytical? Right.
Yeah.
started out so bad. I have to keep rewriting.
Look at you.
Oh my gosh. I think it's beautiful.
Good. Okay, so everybody has their, you guys need the, they got it. Okay, so you done your 50? Good.
I just put a 7.
Okay, the next part of part 2 it says, practice using the practice using tear weight difference method. So in this case, what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna weigh your instead of your 100 ml beaker, you're gonna weigh your 150 ml beaker. We're gonna use your actually use your centi scale, because most of you guys have centi scales except for one group. I'll try to make it.
So we use the speaker.
Oh, because look, this is how we can get it done a little more. It's a good thing.
You wait to keep your first and then like. It's 58.
So you're gonna use the 150 because we don't have that. And the reason I'm having you guys use your scale here is because these guys go up to higher weight. Those guys can only weigh 150. So just write down what you guys want. I mean, this. Since we don't have it. Don't worry. That's
Okay. Water,
Oh.
Yeah, let's say this one, right?
Oh, I mean, it's that one that we have to.
yeah, why not? That's the water.
No, like the other one that we have to.
It should make a difference. Tap water and yes.
So
There should be a
Actually,
difference.
yeah, ours should make a big difference.
So for this first part.
I don't think there'll be enough.
We're gonna have you guys use tap water for the very first one, or 23 and 20, yeah. Yeah, that's right. No, because then you're just taking the difference. So for number 23, you're gonna use tap water. So that's seawater.
Yes. No, we.
Oh, I did. Really?
So what would make the difference?
I'm using for.
Well, how much do you need?
So it's gonna be 50.
Yeah.
I was thinking do 10 of these.
You wanted to work hard, huh?
Probably.
Yeah.
So is that, is it what?
I don't know if I trust that. Everybody else has
That's
a
it.
problem.
So what it is, you got to-
Yeah, pour that in there. You should, you guys have to do it right.
Okay, now when you're looking Looking at your water, you wanna use the meniscus, right? So what do I mean by the meniscus? If you guys take a look. Here's your graduate cylinder. Okay. So let's say this is our line. So the meniscus is the bottom. This here represents our meniscus. Okay, so we're gonna look at the very bottom. That's gonna tell us our value. Okay.
Oh my God.
So you're always gonna look at the bottom of the meniscus. That's gonna determine
Okay, that's it.
where it's at.
I don't get a.
Says you have.
No, listen to you.
It's just like to practice when you guys.
No, it's.
You're not open.
Okay, now it's like this.
It's too much.
Do we zero it out? After you put the zero?
No, someone walking the third
And then
I think if I ever eat if I ever eat
Oh, I was like,
well, are there any, is there anything like to like food? I can click right here. Probably 5 minutes. I can get I can venture this over. Oh, sorry. What?
Time probably.
Yeah, they're in back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one with-
I think the water side overload. Overload. This is overload. Like the number?
Yeah. The water with the deep is too much.
yeah.
So what the heck?
So it could be that the other scales too.
Or,
Yeah, it only goes to 100. Okay, let me see the back of it.
Oh yeah, I switched it and it turned on and.
You got batteries. I can get it over.
it's cold. You're just, I'm cold.
We have a stash of batteries somewhere.
I feel like he too, but I think Aisha was the one that put it somewhere.
Double A here.
Is it double A?
Triple A. Give you an error. So it goes to the safety scale. Yeah, scale. It's above.
I'm proud of you know that he's
Okay, it was going up sometimes.
That's why we started this one
Dude,
actually.
I got apologized, but yeah, because I physically cannot focus.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so what about your?
Good idea.
Yes.
Did you stop there? Yeah, because it's kind of English. But I'm doing myself now.
I keep changing things, I know.
There you go.
I'm working on getting better skills, I'm working on it.
Like,
It's been 6 years in the progress.
The analytic.
I use my push sound.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
It should be this way.
Somebody tell me. Nah, I disagree. Same.
Now we got.
Same.
The last thing to go, right?
So they're gonna do this whole lot?
Unless you just subtract 15.
Batteries are-
Yeah.
All is valid because you're.
I don't know if I got that. So- Yeah.
It's like going out there. I hate to get that. Yeah.
Some water.
They should take a little bit.
They're rated by different, so you just
It looks like it's crazy. Right, but yeah.
What do you mean? Don't listen, you know?
All right.
I'm getting it here in a minute.
Oh, okay, you're just getting there. Okay.
Cylinders.
So in the second part, it's only 0 right now.
Yeah.
So the arm,
So
just
the,
subtract.
The election one, put it on the 0.
I don't.
So
I felt that.
all I did was subtract 58.54. And then
So you gotta
round
like
it.
exactly right.
Oh.
I
So
was,
the,
I was just.
so what did you round it? Did you round it to the?
We don't have to do anything right
So with this. Here? Oh, you already
Yeah.
done. Keep going, keep going.
Hypothetical question.
I have hypothetical answers.
Okay, so now we're doing the water, you could do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So they feed baby.
Really?
So baby water. Baby water.
No, they're just into a regular water. I don't know. Actually.
Baby.
I was wondering.
So right now. I think
Filter's not working, so.
Yeah.
Almost the same.
Alright.
Yeah.
No.
So you're gonna ask me where you get your deionized water? There's a bottle right up there. Yes, you can use that. And so you also want to put that in your graduated cylinder, right? So you guys have already done tap water, right?
Yeah.
So now you get to compare.
Why is it
it.
I should have done that. I looked at
Yeah.
Are we wanting to get it together? Okay. Oh, it's good. Right.
Try it out.
I can't tell because the reflection of the. It's alright. It looks.
You have to put it there.
So we have to find 34.6.
Is this in grant?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's in.
The other one was in grant. Yeah.
Just, yeah.
I don't know if it was how much there is in there. Grams or how much it weighs. It's alright. Here, weight of water.
Does it say what?
When I was 5.
What way divided by volume? 25.
24.5 divided by 25.
Yeah.
What did you say about that?
I think. And obviously, 24.5 divided by 25.
Yeah. Mr. Henry.
Yes. Yes, Ms. Lopez, you have questions?
Yes.
May have answers.
Right. Are you sure you have answers?
That depends. What's the question?
Drawer, there's an unknown bar. Change your first name and middle second to
No, no, you can
For the
use that.
ID. for the unknown. Oh, you can
Rumors.
After this one, we don't need this unknown, right?
That's good.
Good, okay, good. Everything's good.
Those two, and then we have to get an unknown. Three more pages.
But yeah, if it doesn't say anything about this one, like the same water.
Okay.
I think.
I think so.
Unknown. Oh, yeah, they have like.
Oh.
Or do you just want to see the difference?
So just put one.
So the.
Yeah.
And it's just unknown, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So we have- How much of a water is there?
Yeah.
Your volume is what I mean, right here.
Equation for density and.
Because it's just an electric scale. Yeah.
Yeah. Divide your number by the 25.
This one, yeah. What's the second one? For, regular scale.
No.
An electric scale is for-
This question is confusing.
Okay, so on part 4, what you guys are gonna do, you're gonna calculate the density of the cylinders that you have. Right? So there's a couple ways that we can calculate the density. One of them is that since we know the cylinder, we can calculate the density of the cylinder by measuring the volume of the cylinder. So we can measure it and then circle and just, or we can do it by displacement. Which one, do you guys know what displacement is?
So going to.
Yeah, that's right. So you want to take it to like 25 or something like that. You drop it into the graduated cylinder. You want to drop it on the side so it doesn't shatter the glass. And then it will rise up. And he's like, let's wait.
Drop that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so first thing you want to weigh it, right? Because we know the density is the mass of the volume. So you're gonna put it, so you're gonna put it in your graduated gas, because that's your accurate way of measuring things. You put water in there.
Yeah. It's working, you think?
Yeah, like, I only got my potatoes. And I ate the salad.
Just mashed potatoes?
I wasn't hungry.
You weren't hungry?
You
What were they serving?
It was bad too.
It was bad. Was it overcooked?
Yeah, last time I ate on it.
Oh, really?
I had chicken tenders in the morning though, they were so good. They put me for like the whole day. Mine's dry. I was scared too. I was like, I'm gonna go over my calories because I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna eat dinner, but I was eating, I had an appetite for it.
So you can use your bottle just to stir it to the green.
Oh, there.
Yeah, that's. So you got two number ones. Yeah, because you want to do one of the objects one time and then, because they should be exactly the same.
Right.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
I think that's perfect.
that was good. Okay, and then we're gonna.
Crazy, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. She ran off with a happy ending, I guess.
How much is it weigh?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
31.
What did you fill it to? 20? 25? Did you fill it to?
From
The last time?
this right here?
Seven. Oh, man.
Yeah, you're, this is, this,
So
for
what'd
this
you
one,
get?
Yeah.
for this one, you should. We did have three before.
Yeah, okay.
I did have.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Can we round it or do we have to go the whole?
No. Wait a minute, I was like, why is this? For this? Yeah. Oh, fine.
I got it.
Yeah.
Said two?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's two. This one was the smallest one.
But what about
Yeah.
Pause, no.
the top?
That was me, that one. Yeah, my fault, my fault.
Wait, what?
Here?
And so what was the takeaway of what?
Yeah.
I think they went to 3 CHM. It's the lowest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 8 were cut. They ruined math.
Yeah, I just like ignoring everything. Just like.
Or no, no, by 25 minutes.
So the density is 8.6.
Yeah, so then it would be
Grams
this
slash
7
milliliters.
divided by 25. Because 25 is the volume.
Trial 2. So then do we use this one?
Yeah, I would.
I'll forget.
Trust me. I'm really a lot on the lab. I used to write in pen too. We have max opportunity.
What was your volume?
6.5.
A baby goat?
That's why I was like, I'm gonna come earlier, but they were like. My brother was like, "Hey, oh, we heard that." He's like, you were in the hospital, I don't know. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I was like, I guess.
Mine would talk about physics, even though we were chemistry, and then how his P was. My chemistry teacher rated my English test off. Yeah.
Did you get pregnant?
Yeah.
They're always pregnant.
Really?
They're always pregnant.
You know, being for pre-presentation.
So once you figure out your density.
Yeah.
Five?
So 9 and 6.
All right, 16.
Hey guys, for part 4, you guys have to make sure to identify the boundary using the
Identify the metal using its density.
Yeah, no, that's the atomic mass. He's gonna put some densities on the board.
Okay.
And you just have to pick whichever metal is closest to yours, or whichever one is closest to yours.
So do we all have different like metal tolerances?
Each group does, yes.
Oh, shit. We got number 1. Woo, we're number 1.
Period. But even then.
Careful.
And when you get to part 4, you're gonna have to identify the metal as well. Putting a list of densities on the board. With the metal, and you just pick the one
31?
closest to yours.
Okay. Just 30.
It's just the displacement, so you would put it in there, it's about like 25 to 30 millimeters, and then you slowly drop it. Yeah, you're gonna, but make sure to slowly like drop like close to the side, slowly. If you like slowly straight up.
I don't know if the reflection is just getting to me. Yeah, it's like 30 seconds.
Oh, no.
But I don't know if the reflection. Because we have to.
my glass.
You have to do like a water. That was so funny. He's like, I think you need a little bit more. He was like, I don't even have my glass. Like 35 maybe.
Water.
Am I just like?
Yeah, once you put it.
Oh, sure. It's just 31.
And you also have to identify that.
Right. I heard you tell them. It's gonna be just 6. You're doing the. I think doing 31 minus 25.
It's okay. All right.
It looks like I'm putting it right now. I know. And then displacement of water.
We said we might let this one 5, that's
5 milliliters would be your. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your density is 9.
Oh.
32 minus 27. The average density of water is 1.
Okay, so
So would it be to enjoy the 789?
What about your big picture of the volume?
Oh, it would be 6.8. Is that when we look at the that's the average density?
I'm sorry.
And now.
You will be tested on.
Oh, what's it about?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. 8.8.
So it's gonna be used to writing units too.
Oh.
Yeah, so like as of right now, we like right around.
What the heck? Do you have copper?
I think so. It looks very copper.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the after?
The average is 8.8.
Copper?
This is your volume.
How did I know you were gonna say that? I just saw my.
I-
Ask the spirit that will be like copper.
That's my volume.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
this
no,
is
no,
another one.
That's very different. average.
I like it.
No, that's no.
Okay, so we have
Your mass is in grams.
So that.
Yeah, the grams is real.
the right percent. We want copper.
This is density is
Copper.
grams.
How would it be? Copper. 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 We got copper.
Yes.
Okay, your second.
got copper.
That's a little bit more concrete.
Yeah, I think we have grass first. And this is called.
Oh,
But it was like
Now with
8.8.
that,
It would be 6.5, it would be around 8. So then that's
What if I wanted that?
just kidding, we did not have copper.
yeah,
Or what's the number? It's still gonna say.
You're like.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was grass.
grass is very good.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't have like that.
Well,
We could have 3 if we had. Well, for 6.5.
What we gonna say?
It can be slightly off, but yeah. It shouldn't be far off.
Wherever you're changing it, by the look of it.
This is fine.
Okay.
Wait, hold on a second.
Okay.
So.
That's 65.
Yeah.
this smells like pennies.
Yeah, 6 and
Copper.
So it's gonna be.
8 and 8. Okay, so that's your first, this is your first object, your first trial, that would be for your second trial. So the first one was 6.
Second
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. 57.9 and 57.7.
The other one.
This was at 30.
Yeah, so that way it should be exactly the same.
30.
It's just on the next page, that's what you guys are. You guys are.
Okay.
So object 2 is the
Yeah.
other part of it.
Yeah.
Object two is the one back there.
All right, actually, so-
Yeah, there's the six.
So you guys, have you guys finished 6?
Those still
They're
out.
good.
No, they just- oh, you're
The
gonna-
second one, yeah.
For the friends. Yes. Ooh. This is something else.
That's your- yeah, that's the next.
Then.
Doing the dance.
Oh my gosh, I'm a genius.
Genius?
I got it out without spilling like
Right.
just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't boss.
So what was your first one? What do you guys think your first one was?
Brad.
Yep,
Okay.
because this one smells like pennies.
I like the, how you guys are using smell, you're using looks, and yes, you're using everything, yeah.
Literally every single night.
Well, we were.
Like 3, and it wasn't in the same lab.
Yeah.
Oh. Or.
It's gonna be fine.
The average is
That's
8.5.
Yeah.
Wait, the average is 8.5?
This is so. He switched the.
18.3.
How we doing? So good. It's like, it's the exact same as grass, but it smells and looks like copper.
This one weighs a little more.
It just doesn't add. The science isn't science.
Everything else is okay.
All right, is that it? Yeah. Oh. Okay. 4 minutes. Let's go. Do we have to finish this? Or is it fine?
This class, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have.
I'm just trying to get it right.
It went back to 32. Yeah.
Or just get it wrong.
You guys doing okay?
Yes.
Make sure you keep the number of sig figs correct and then make sure you put your units. Whether it's grams, milliliters, whatever, because you will get marked down. Especially on the exams. Remember, density is mass over volume, so it should be grams per, yeah, just like that, grams per volume.
Divided by 2.
And when you do the measurements too, you gotta do the same thing, whether you're doing inches or inches and
Divided by the number.
just put inches and centimeters.
Total will be.
How do we-
Yeah.
how do we measure?
So like,
With a
let's say you
ruler.
have 3 of
Take
them,
ruler.
and I will fill them up,
Yeah.
divided by
Anyone got a ruler?
There should be one actually in your
Trial
article.
1 is 30.
So,
30.
The unit.
Right in each side.
is 7 centimeters. 87. 8 is 8.8. Sorry. 8 is 7 centimeters.
Make sure you also put your number, your right number signature.
C is 7 centimeters. Oh. We put that on the right side, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, eat popcorn.
So, yeah, so your average is there. And then the average is the sum of all your numbers multiplied how many.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like right now you have to.
Your
Your
object
object
is divided by 6.5.
Like 13?
And then for the mass.
No, no, no,
it's
but then-
13.5. And then it's again at 31.
Oh, shoot.
It's on the back, it says, average. Like, goes
Area.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, I missed it. It's the bigger one.
Yeah.
But you engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, what? I was like,
Measure the height. Measure the height.
oh, you just look really confused right now.
Center.
Wait, what happens if the base is 6.5?
Yeah.
If it's-
Oh, what if?
Yes, if it's 13. I love you so far. How'd you get 27?
Feeling unloved since you have to go travel all the way to the.
Yeah.
Do you want me to place them in here?
So collecting everything. You mean you don't want to take your phone?
Alright. It's not hard to, like,
Yeah.
It's just more math.
They typically. Well, actually, they're not used to this, but at first, like, they used to kill me.
It's 2.75.
Oh, rectangle.
Yeah. Yeah. be sure to resolution. Twenty?
I got some.
Maybe,
Wait,
because let's say seven, right? It's a significant figure. So it would be.
Oh, it is.
wait, we
Same
did,
20.
we did 6.5.
Times 2.5.
So that would be 2 significant.
Oh, okay, so we're doing that. Instead of the next.
Yeah, because it's like,
So 16.
I know, but I don't know. Yeah. Great.
Okay. Thing. Right, so are you all fine?
Surrounded up to three.
Oh, we could.
Should we just get this?
I know, they're very efficient.
I'm.
You said both sets of brass?
Oh.
I hate this.
I think this.
Oh, iron?
I was zone.
Did he say why?
I told them.
No, like, did he say why?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just said he got to it. I don't know. I'm gonna be like, tell me.
225, yeah. So this one is for the object two.
Wait.
Oh, that's.
I mean,
For the square? Oh, for the
I
rectangle?
am B.
Here, let's put-
We're already on the.
Oh, no, I see in the centimeter. Yeah.
I'll do it right
7.3 on the.
I'm so sorry.
The one that says brass.
I'm so sorry.
It's 25.6.
You got 6 in this case, you got 7 in this case. After that is one.
I have a question.
Okay, so you divide it by 5 point.
So for this part, they're trying to figure out how to measure it, or if he just wants to. This. Yeah.
Brass.
So you're gonna be able to do it.
The brass is big.
Can you like share numbers?
Okay, so then you have 58 divided by 6.5.
You should just make it 3 alright.
So 6.5.
You guys want to do on messages? Or?
Yeah, I'll do all messages. Wait, what do you guys do?
I don't really have any.
Okay.
I mean, I have Instagram. I use that.
Are they
When
making
you're
problems?
doing your.
So even if the next
Okay.
slide isn't the
Okay, which
same.
one? So this is wrong.
Okay, yeah. I don't look like this.
No,
We have
that's
to turn it
wrong.
over.
Hey, look yourself up. You gotta write down. So this
Oh,
one
we gotta
was
write down what the.
number three. Okay.
OMG.
That's the term.
I almost broke.
That's so if you take 57 divided by 6.5%.
You guys put your names all over. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I asked them.
Maybe to clean this stuff, like, oh,
You're telling me you could have this the whole time? That was like messing up our reflection.
I thought we. It's been too long. It's been- That's since I saw prayer for that you.
That's a regular trash.
or you multiply side A by side B and side B. It's in order, right? I have a question.
So you go to the rest
Area you move to.
Oh, we never go to the restroom. Never did. I swear. Oh my god. They opened the restroom and I thought it was you. I tried it. No one's there. Are you from number two? No, I just wanted to go because I was bored. Oh, well, I think I just have one of those faces. You're my baby. It was like, oh, gee, that's the girl from Thailand. Really? I would have smiled or something. You did. Well, I did. Your doppelganger did.
I can send this, the C.
No, I didn't go to Target. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say hi to you. I just what was she wearing? Oh god, I just remember my glasses and face. And then she had her hair back too, like how you do now. But yeah, I just look like everyone. That's crazy. Do you live here? Yeah, I live in the dorm. Oh, really? Where are you from? Danuba? All the way over there? Is that what makes you want to move over here? Softball. Softball, okay. Cool. Are you the softball team or no? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes. Are you guys doing good? That's really nice. I'm playing right now in the pool though. It's a spring sport though, but it starts in like now. It starts early? Yeah. And then it goes to. Do you guys wear a sweater or no? They give us sweaters. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. They give us sweaters, but we have to give them back.
It's up to give your shoulders back.
So you ruined.
We don't have it. Can you just be like, can I forget it? I'm having trouble. I wish we could both can.
You can buy stuff online.
Oh, no. Oh, shoot, I need to buy my dad's shirt.
Can you do me a favor? You go grab me some.
So he said.
It's 10, I don't.
Yeah, there's me.
Which I was trying to say.
Did she bury her?
But she wants to, you can't tell.
Yeah. It's for you to run yourself. Like, you remind people that. I'm out. I'm leaving. Not like I did it the first time for that reason, but you know.
So,
Maybe you. I think so. For that, again. Technically, for that.
Maybe just.
are you guys out? Okay.
Are we allowed to be out?
Yeah, you guys should go. When you're
I'm
done,
having
you're done.
trouble.
Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. As soon as you finish, you know.
Well, at least measure these and then we'll
Yes. Yeah, I keep finding some here, some there, you know. Oh, that's good. That's why you guys are locking your pins.
So you got
So.
This slab is gonna be on, right.
This one?
And then she'll get
And
the.
then we got whatever the base is for centimeters.
Okay, so you said you calculate, the best thing to do is to do it today.
So what's half of 13?
Since you're almost there. Okay, so get it ready on the side, right?
Oh, what's
Six
this?
point five times the height. And then what's the height of that set?
Plus 2 times one is.
In this case, you're using.
Yeah,
it.
centimeters is the base.
So is this gonna, because you just added, okay, so the area is.
So it's over 5
base times height.
So
Base.
or no? We'll do that.
I think it's 2.
That's under 5.
So 2.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's 2, that's 4, that's 6.
So it's
So
2
we want to
times
do that right
4,
here.
That's 16. That's 18.
2
So
times
it-
1.
So it's.
Yeah, that's
And then you put the price of 8 plus 2. Now you can do the
6.5, so these are broken up. So this here, that means that's a 2, and
Do that. I'm gonna, these around it.
10, 12, 16. So that 12, 16. Yeah, so you're right. Right, 12 by 16. Okay, so then in this case, that would be 2 points.
Eight.
That'd be
10.
Oh,
Okay, we'll see. Well, no, you don't know. It could be different places. So that's, we'll check for sure. So you guys are doing.
Sorry, I'm burnt. And you're following along to my first.
He's just like, I'm gonna ignore it, you know.
Length of
There's, so when you do it, right? So you guys gotta. Okay, so here. So right here, you're over 60. Now here, you're over, so then that would be 1, 2, 3. So then that would be 360. Okay.
So that's 10, 20.
How would you calculate you out?
Yes,
For the boxes that they put to their trash.
2.5.
put them out here in front.
Okay.
For the perimeter, sorry.
Calculation from the bottom.
It's in how you get over. Oh, yeah, it's just like.
Oh. Okay.
So there's,
It's just like showing the work.
Okay.
And then.
here goes 5. That's 1. 4, that's 5. And then 5 point. We got 1. What was the value you got? Just 360.
I got you. Why are we all measuring differently?
They already did.
Yeah, they're already done.
Okay, so that's 0.1875. So 5, 4, 10 times 2 is 30.
Yeah, so know that this is 16. that 12 as well.
Yeah.
So hey, we agree, you got something.
Yeah.
So divided by
well,
16.
Yeah. It has to be. Yeah. Get the.
Yes, last time. 2.75. So you were right. Right. Yes, the perimeter is. There. Check on that crew there.
11.68 by 4. That doesn't. So the area. Oh, 11.68. Half the size is 2%. Height. Area.
Yeah.
Is
One half.
So that's
One half of that height
Both inches and
times the base.
1.5 times base.
That's
C.
one half of the height.
C.
So what was the height?
So it's 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus no, that is.
So we got
So
almost
38,
1 inch. We got
7 plus
15,
13
16.
plus 7.
So 15 divided by 16.
Okay.
So our measurement is like this.
Okay.
For the area, it's gonna be half. So base is
By that
13,
height.
so it's gonna be.
So let's wait, let's make sure that we got it right. So. Okay, so you have the area of a triangle. Base times the height, right?
Oh, half the base
Yes,
times the height.
yes,
Okay, so we have the half the base then.
yes. Okay, so if we go, come here, height.
So you guys have.
You guys said the height was what again? 15, 16. So that's that, right? So we're gonna go one half. The base. G. So you said 0.5 times 5.187 times 15, 16 squared.
Okay. I did.
So do 15 divided by 16 first. Okay, now multiply that times 0.5. You multiply that by 5.175. That is 2.4. So how many sig figs? Are you sure?
Go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, what is the smallest number that you
Oh, the small number? 3. Oh, so we got, okay,
For real?
I got it.
My boss is.
Oh, for real? 2.537. 2.4.
Okay, so if we go. Our height was 2 gigs, right? And our height was 2 gigs. Okay, so if our height was 2 gigs, then we're multiplying it by the values.
No, you're in class.
Who would be our base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gigs for the base.
Yeah.
So then, and the height was 2 sig.
Oh, oh. Okay, so we're going to 2, so that means it's 2.4 then. Yeah. So long. 10 o'clock?
It's 10 o'clock at night, and we all want to go to bed.
Okay, nice. Now I gotta do some tests, right, eventually?
Exactly. Well, so you need the same thing on that side. He has to finish his, so. You have the measurements already, all you have to do is just. Yeah, so you have the measurements there. So then the perimeter's always the addition of all the sides. Right? You just add all those in.
It was good for length of study.
Like, I would get.
How's it going over
I would
here?
get. I don't even have, this is not even have a hair.
I think I'm still alive.
Live is good.
Yeah, and then it's the number. It did that. So when I was on my
So you
line.
do 2 times.
So that's right. So you do 2 times A and then 2 times.
So you.
Yeah. So when I was going first,
Plus 12, for sure.
I mean.
Yeah.
Triangle area will actually,
Yeah.
it's like,
Base times, right?
it doesn't have
So
race, because we're just dropping the 5, right?
Yeah, put
Five,
2
drop
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like right here.
Got
I
it.
had it.
Put-
For the test,
Yeah.
so,
no.
ready?
That's like, hey guys, let's see, where can I help you at?
I didn't, but I can let you know where I tried to go.
Yes, great. That looks great. Let me know where you guys can help.
You're right. I like it. Innovation.
Remember it's for $5,000 be a great top.
Okay, you guys, next in there. Eight, five, one. GM.
Yeah. 3 inches and 3/14.
Yeah, and then when I had it in my, when I had never tried. I heard it was great. So I have really healthy.
For the area, is this where?
Yeah. I don't want to shave my head.
Bye.
Crochet.
I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good night. I'll see you. Have a good night.
Dr. Henry, would you just like to just balls one day?
Yeah,
But you know what?
I've done it before.
I want to shave it.
What would Roy do if he gave me a ball one day?
No, I've been telling him, I'm like, boy, I kind of want to do it. And he's just like, well, maybe. I'm like, it's not me. But I'm like, yeah, what do you think? And he's just like, nothing. And I'm like, you're lying. But yeah, I kind of want to talk
The
about
whole thing is over.
We gotta finish, I need to sit down and fix the schedule. Because it's also.
Oh, and I heard you.
Yeah, I need to add you to the camera. Let me come here so I can put it on here, otherwise I'll forget. It does. That my eyes are so sore at the end of the night. Yeah, eyes so sore. I need to go to the.
You didn't get the blue light glasses. They're staring at
Yeah.
the screen all day.
All day long.
Literally, I need to get the black.
How did it do that?
From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think.
That's easier. Got it.
It was simple last night.
Just use my last name.
Okay, so what's gonna happen is that you've been given the invitation, so you have to just. You can- Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then what we'll do, we'll also have it set up that.
Okay.
So I'll set up that page. Once I get reminded.
No worries.
One day.
Okay, yeah.
Well, no, you guys help out a lot. Without you guys, I'd be so much better.
So it's.
And you remember the chemistry room too? The chem room? Or the lab, no, the chemical room.
It was horrible.
I was telling her, I'm like, you are getting like a good version of it right now.
She was like, what you two are doing, that's like half.
It was bad.
It was so bad. And the thing is that when she got sent to do it, we should have saw it before that.
Oh my
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we should have saw it before that. Right? And I'm like, yeah, it was just mad. And then it gets so, I get so busy. So I just pull chemicals out real quick and then I never get a chance to go back. So it was just like everywhere when I started. It was so bad. No, it was not.
Oh, wait, bad?
It
Oh.
was horrible. Oh, yeah. It didn't get untouched.
Oh, good.
Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Bella was like, literally just put the stuff from this. Just bring it over here. So he would not touch it. So this place was just. I mean, I went through here. There was stuff that was like literally great. We had a collection. Of roaches that
Really?
sat in there, died.
Oh, you were mentioning the crickets and the roaches.
And like wrapped in like the drawers with the files in it.
Yep.
I
Yep.
was like, what is this thing happening? I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, luckily, right now you won't see too many roaches. I've gone through most of it every day,
And,
so.
and then, you know, being a faculty, you don't want to throw it away because it's not, I can't say anything. The people have been using it and okay, after a while, I'm like, yeah, just.
where am I getting?
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm like, some of the glassware, like you guys, like cats or and stuff, I'm like, we've got.
I don't think nothing we can do at this point, yeah. I was just telling her, I'm like, I'm thinking I'm gonna clean all the glassware, so I can finally start organizing all the new one in there. Is there any more coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I told my sister, I'm like, I'm gonna do the glassware, because I'm like, we're gonna be getting glassware, we're literally just gonna shove more boxes in there.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't. It's funny because I had ordered. So because then, you know, I don't have to sit there, I can just get it set. And I'm just like, all right, okay, well. That's the thing. That's the reason I had to order it. Sorry. It's about that age, Still matter.
It's like with the beds too, you're gonna be like, you have beds?
Oh, yeah. They have.
No, we would have to be running everywhere and then like over here, oh, I think I found something.
Yeah, yeah, lab was, half of lab was spent trying to find.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had an idea of what we don't have now. Yeah, my thing is these guys, this year. Big. Yeah, we have as soon as they're coming in. And I'm like, this, and then as soon as you get what we had, I just think, like, oh, you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't, yeah, so we have a house that was.
In the bathroom? Actually,
Yeah, and I'm assuming they just like.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. He's like, you can't have that.
Are you guys doing actual lab samples? Or is it just?
They're just, you guys are just turning in a picture of it.
Okay.
They have 3 laptops. Yeah, the documentals one. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. We have to finish it. I want to finish this lab.
Just make sure your bin has 2 rulers in it. And then you guys can leave the rulers and then I'll pick them up the extra ones.
Actually, let's go ahead and have them keep all the rules.
All of them?
Yeah, one
The
more.
rulers. No, I'll take those. And then. And then this one does go.
I didn't see that.
Didn't see anything.
This goes on top.
This is a good class. Yeah.
Okay. I'll check yours.
Oh, there's stuff up there.
The real worst too. Don't tell me it doesn't.
It's too late for that.
Sorry. Thank you. Guys, try safe. Try safe.
Yep.
I grabbed this whole thing and tried to erase it.